Oh, happy day. Just sitting here waiting for the Purelator guy, and he showed up. Look what he brought. Oh, it's heavy. Oh yeah, the new lens, the new Tamron lens is here. The 150 to 500 millimeter for E-mount. I've been waiting for this. Let's get it out and take a look. Never fails. It's pouring rain out today. So I get a new lens to play with, and I'm still gonna take it out. We're going out in the forest somewhere. It's weather sealed. There's like nine different seals on this lens. We can go out in a little bit of rain. Come on. All right. The paperwork on top here. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna need two hands to get that out of there. Oh yeah, 4 pounds of Tamron goodness. But let's just take a quick look, guys. We'll compare this to the other one here. This is the 150 to 600. So, not as much difference as I thought there was going to be. But there is enough of a difference but it's going to make this, hand holding this one a little easier. So there they are side by side. So the new lens is 3/4 of a pound lighter if you take into account that I don't need the adapter, and then this lens is a little bit lighter than the 150 to 600. So you're saving a little bit of space. Obviously you're going to take that lens hood off of there. If you're going to transport it, it'll flip around and go back onto the body. You know, the 200 to 600 Sony is the same size as that Tamron 150 to 600, and I can't travel with that. With this turned down and the hood removed, I can travel. I can throw this in a bag and travel with it. The fact that this is made for E-mount means that the autofocus and the tracking and everything should be just right on par, world class with the top lenses that are made today. So that I'm looking forward to. I mean, this one behind me is no slouch, but it doesn't keep up with the most modern and greatest lenses because it was never made for E-mount. This was made for E-mount. Let's just, let's take it out in the field and I'll show you guys some sample photos. I don't want to get all technical. I just want to see, how does this feel? How does it shoot? What do the pictures look like? So I'm just taking some shots of this little red squirrel here right through my living room window. And I'm noticing... Oh, time for a good shot. Hold on. Oh, I missed him. He ran back down the tree very quick. I'm noticing, A, this lens is heavy at 4 pounds, but a couple of things. I'm looking, zooming in, I think it is a little bit sharper than the 150 to 600 G2 lens. Just a little bit touch. I think that's because we zoom right out all the way we can, right? If you've got a 600 millimeter lens and you're shooting wildlife, you're going right to the 600 millimeter end. Well, the 600 millimeter end is not as sharp as this lens at the 500 millimeter end. So I think that's the difference. If I were to shoot that other lens, draw it back to 500 millimeters, it would probably be just as sharp. I don't know that for sure, but I can tell you guys just from looking on the screen, I'm shooting with the A6600 here to get a little bit of extra reach. This lens is phenomenally sharp. I have autofocus in video! Yeah! Finally! And not that I'm opposed to using manual focus, right? I'm not getting the eye exactly in focus when in video using this, but hey, it is autofocusing. They have their limitations, right? The same as when you're trying to do still photos, but at least now when the squirrel turns around and the camera goes on his tail, it focuses on his tail, you know, where before I had to do everything manually. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy about that. actually shooting, you know, camcorder in one hand, big old honkin' 150-500 in the other hand. It's heavy. It is heavy. There's no doubt about it, but I can do it, you know. I can feel my biceps burning just a little bit. Look at those guns, just a little bit. Another nice feature on this lens, guys, is that the lens collar has a spot to put your strap. So the G2 version that I have, you cannot put the strap on the side of the lens. And these lenses are so heavy, you need to put your mounting strap up here because there's a lot of pressure that goes onto the back where the camera joins the lens if you don't strap the lens itself. So that's a great feature on the lens collar itself. Of course, the Arca Swiss foot is another great feature. I'm used to that because the G2 also has that. You just click it right into your tripod with the Arca Swiss mount, and you don't have to put two plates together like you do with the Sony lens. I mentioned that before. Where I think this lens is really going to shine for me, guys, is it's going to be the extra reach that I can carry on my hip like we're going to go out and do right now. Also in a vehicle beside me. It's not extended, you know, 2 feet. I can grab this, point it out the truck window, and do, which I do all the time. I use my truck as a blind all the time. And to have a lens that's just got this shorter base to it, it's going to make all the difference. All the difference. It started to rain harder as soon as I opened the garage. Just dying to get out and try this lens. Vibration control, it does work better when the lens is turned on than just having it on the back of the A6600 and the camera doing the vibration control. I zoomed all the way out and I was looking at the screen trying to do manual focus, and the screen was just jumping all over. Because it's such a heavy lens, it's hard to hold still when it's fully extended. And I was just doing testing with vibration control off and on the lens. It's definitely better with the lens on. So I'm assuming that the two work together. That's the way they're supposed to on the newer lenses, right? This doesn't replace the in-body and the in-body doesn't replace this. They work together. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Otherwise, what would be the point? Because each one of them is rated for like, they both say between 4 and 5 stops, but really it's probably less than that. Closer to 4, maybe, on a good day. It's like there's no stopping to this rain. Okay, what else can I say about this? This lens is not a huge surprise, guys, because I already knew from the quality of the 150-600 how well Tamron is doing these last few years. Like this lens, it's even better. I'm not sure about the weather sealing in the 150-600. I believe there's a couple seals. There's one on the back. This has 9 seals in it. So this thing is just as weatherproof as the Sony. There is no doubt in my mind. It is quality made. The buttons feel better. They're the same nice clicky responsive buttons that are on the 150-600. The clutch is the same. Now I will notice that I have accidentally pulled that. There's a clutch on here that you can extend the zoom when the lens is not locked. So there's a lock that you can lock it at 150, which I have it locked right now. So we turn that off, we can extend the zoom, and then if you pull this clutch forward, see that white ring appears? Now the lens is locked wherever you want. And that's not anything new. I have that on the 150-600, but I never hand hold the 150-600. So this lens I'm going to be hand holding a lot, and already a couple of times, because the camera's so heavy, when you're pointing it up and you're zoomed out, you will actually pull that clutch forward. So it's just going to take a little bit getting used to. It's not anything new for me. I do like it. I have used that feature. It's great on a tripod. You want to turn this into a 500mm prime lens that you're not zooming in and out, just lock it at 500. Lock it at 300. You know, lock it at 150, wherever you want. Lock it. Lock it down. Yeah, I just don't want to take it out in that much rain. All right, Mr. Gage, we're going back in the house. Come on, buddy. Good boy. So as you can see, the gear was getting wet, but I'm not worried about this lens or camera. I'm more worried about the camcorder that I'm recording on. I don't believe that the A53 camcorder has any kind of weather sealing on it, and so we'll wait for a little bit better weather to get out and try to find some wildlife and test this. But yeah, I'm excited. It is living up to everything I thought it would be. I knew it would be! Guys, I own the 150-600. There is no surprises. This is an awesome lens. It is made for E-mount, and that is all the difference in the world. Alright, so while I dry off the gear, mostly the camcorder, Why don't you guys check out these photos that I got in video of the squirrel out here? I mean, just take a look. And keep in mind that the ISO was at 1600. It's very dark out, it's very gray, so these are not optimal conditions at all. But from what I could see on the back of the camera, the sharpness looks phenomenal. I think I haven't even put them on the computer yet, but I'm impressed already. So check them out.